Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ailish, Ben, and Kigo. They are the Party
Already drinking.
Of sorts. We had a title sequence of sorts. And just in case you didn't know, kudos to Kigo. He was actually playing that music.
He made it up himself.
You can hardly tell. It was beautiful. Good evening. I can't believe we made it to 2021, and I haven't seen my tits in front of other tits in a long time. What is it? About a month? Is it? When did we last?
Yeah, I think it was like 14th of December was our last show. This is the 14th of January. So yeah, we had a month to think about what we've done.
And have we? Yeah.
A month. We could have thought about a better intro, but I find the chaos of the 10-second delay, I feel really brings the show together, and I even have it. I just noticed there's a beacon of light coming from Ben's beard hitting me on the head. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. That is much better. We've now changed the entire way the show's going to go now. Guys,
it looks lovely. It looks like some of the fireworks from the background are bleeding into the actual picture view.
But it is beautiful to see you guys, and I think the first question is: we made it to 2021, so how? Let's just put a couple of words on 2020. Now, this is not in the schedule, but if you could use 2 words to describe last year, what would you pick?
2 words.
2 words. Like, you can go for the obvious ones and say absolutely shite, but
I'll tell you what, mine would be, and they don't really work written down. It's got to be done with the accent. Mine would be, fuck.
Yeah.
That's 2021. It's, fuck.
That's, I think yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
No, that's it. Those are my words.
I think my 2 words is, what now? Because it was something every single month. It was, what now? What could go wrong? What's left?
There was a quality of, if something else came along, rather than, like, if something else bad happened, rather than be annoyed about it, you just be like, oh, and of course, and this. Why not?
And this, yeah, that's good. See, it's funny because when I was a kid, my old man's from up north, and what he used to do was, when he get angry, his accent would come back, his thick Northern Irish accent, and his favorite phrase, if you put it in normal English, is 3 words, but his accent was able to bring it down to 2. So in English, if we were talking, it would be away and shite. That's what he would say. But the way he would say it is, away and shite! So that's what I would say for 2020. It is a 3-letter.
So he'd say it like he was actually having a shite while saying it.
Yeah, which adds an extra
That's how it looked like.
It's are you talking to me are you doing this in your trousers, Dad? It's like, no. I'm so angry. I'm pooing myself in front of you, son.
It's like when Sheet does Fenty, it's like, go in, Sheet. Like, I don't know what accent that was. Yeah, 2020.
It sounded like an angry Swede, is what it sounded like.
That's also, I think, that's a sexual position as well. The angry Swede, isn't it? The angry pirate, the angry Belgian. Yeah, the usual stuff. But how did you bring? Because we're locked down. We can't leave our houses. Well, we can't go very far. How did you bring in the new year? How did you kick 2020 up the hole and welcome 2021 like the whores we are?
I haven't seen my family in Scotland for 11 months. So we had a big roast. Me and my girlfriend, we had a lovely roast, and then Skyped them for about half an hour, something like that, and then just watched TV. Which having not the Skype, not the technological element of it, but having the dinner and then just watching TV to see in the bells, as we say in Scotland, it felt like all those kind of traditional. When you're young, Scots do New Year in a very they'll have little parties, or more often than not, they'll just sit around watching the TV. And so me, as a man in my 30s. I was experiencing New Year, seeing it in really old relatives from ages ago that I remember from childhood. So it felt weirdly different and weirdly traditional all at the same time. It was great, and we got hammered as well, which is always nice. I mean, that is the most important element, really.
Of course,
Fair.
of course.
Fair, especially after the 2020 we had. How about yourself, Ayla?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm at the pier, so I was able to see fireworks all across the north side and on the pier as well, which was just gorgeous. And then my friend, my housemate, who's also my friend, we wrote New Year's resolutions, and we just looked at loads of traditions, like eat 12 grapes in the last second, jump off the furniture onto your right foot so you start the year on your right foot. Brazilians wear white as well for New Year's Eve, so that's another tradition. So what we were doing were we were writing down our New Year's resolutions and burning them on the balcony like witches. And
that's weird because it sounded like eat some grapes and then jump off a couch. It sounded like, okay, so who's your flatmate and friends? Some character from the Enid Blyton novels. And then we set fire to them on the balcony. Okay, that's more Ailish on brand.
Yeah, we were setting shit on fire. And what else were we doing? We had the most glorious cheese board you can imagine, and just drank so much Prosecco. It was amazing. And the next morning we had to make a fry up to just absorb all of the alcohol that we drank that night. We had the full fry. We had the works the next morning. But otherwise I was quite quiet. We were just watching movies. We were just ringing our families. That's all,
Yeah, I think we're all going to your house next New Year's Eve.
I know, it's just because this year I can't obviously have anybody, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see this glorious cheese board. In fact, I think for one of the parties coming up, we should have a cheese board party.
We should just have a cheese party.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'm definitely in for that. I growled a little bit there at the thought of just cheese for an hour non-stop in front of strangers. It's a bit kinky. I like it.
Before we ask what you did, Keego, I think we should say hello and Happy New Year to Neil O'Dwyer is back.
Hey,
and his 2 words for 2020 would be party tits. Yes.
Wow.
We love you, Neil.
We love you, Neil. You've been here since the very beginning, which is great.
What did you do, Keego, for seeing in the new year?
Well, it was a fairly quiet one, like everyone's. But I used to judge how my next year was going to be by the lineup that Jules Holland had on his crossover show. The midnight show.
Daddy.
And so it'd been pretty bad the last couple of years. And then this year, I realized that we got rid of TV. We just live off streaming stuff. So there was no Jules Holland this year. So I took to take that as it's going to be a good year in 2021 because I'm not let down by the music going into the year.
Sure.
So similar to ALO, without the cheese board, there was liters of Prosecco and Prosecco. Oh well, I didn't burn shit, but Prosecco farts get terrible after a while. They're funny at first, all the bubbles, but then it gets a bit much for the neighbors.
A mate said to me, Prosecco goes in like perfume and out like sewage.
That was even more brave to be setting fire to anything.
So much methane in there. What's going on?
I was just like, we are gonna like have our fingers burnt off us in the morning. Like, just be careful.
Was there a
Why?
thing?
Wait, why would you have your finger? What were you pulling your ass open to get them out? What were your fingers doing near the blast zone?
Yeah, forget
So
what I was
we
going to
are we are 4 floors up, so we were getting a lot of wind on our balcony. We're exposed. I should say
Keep going.
there was so much wind, and we actually ended up holding a candle and then putting like the resolutions into the jar to light them, and they wouldn't light because of the wind and just how inflammable the paper is, which is reassuring that my notebook isn't that flammable, but at the same time, not what I was trying to achieve. So.
I was just thinking, guys, was there, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, wasn't there a sitcom where a load of women sat around in an episode burning? Is that Friends? Okay, sorry, yeah.
But that was a Valentine's night where they burned loads of their ex-boyfriend stuff, yeah.
Oh, wow, we've ventured into your chosen subject on Mastermind there.
Friends sitcom, I think. Like, what is it? Matthew Perry posted, like, thanks to you, it's the sitcom that never goes away. Just...
yeah, some of them are good, but some of them age badly. It's a bit like everything, I suppose. But yeah, no, I think if everyone, Neil Dwyer, what did you get up to on New Year's Eve? Because I did a bit of a Google with my safe search filter off, and I found out what you did on New Year's Eve. So we're just waiting to see if you will actually let everyone know what you actually did. So type it up there with the accompanying video. I think it's behind the paywall now, but give us the free code and we'll share it with everybody.
I guess we have to start. It's a new series, so let's start a new perverted Neil O'Dwyer rumor.
Oh, yes.
Last series was that he ran over a boy in a car. This one is that he's making abstract pornography, and yeah, sure. The one guy who watches the show, let's just alienate
every week.
God bless him.
To be fair, Ben, you get like a bad choice every week as well. We give you some alter ego, and you're like, why me? So we gotta pick one for you as well.
Yeah. There's always the
enthusiasm oozing out of you.
I'm going to just add this juncture here. It's like, so are you guys committed to the idea that this is a new year? Because I actually would like to rescind my celebrations that I had on the 31st. I'm in fact not considering this 2021. I'm thinking of this more as 2020.5 or 2020. It's the same old shit. This year, yeah. I've just decided is lasting 18 months, and I'm gonna celebrate my new year when the Chinese have theirs in February. When they have a party, that's when I'm going to do it. So this is just this incredibly long week between Christmas and New Year. And I'm just getting pissed and eating selection boxes every night. That's what I'm doing. I'm not starting anything. I'm not doing anything as a new year because it's not. It's just the same old shit. Anyway, what a cheating way to start the show and start the new series.
Well, I was just going to say, Ben, you could be my project manager because that's exactly what they do. They just keep moving deadlines further and further away. So you could come and work for me, no problem at all. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't get to do last year, so we'll just make this year shorter.
Yeah. Everyone's always looking for extra time, and look at me, I've found like an extra 2 months for everybody.
Magic, Ben.
I've had I've had a different start to the new year. I've gotten the COVID test. Yeah, I got a COVID test. So the reason being is because I would like to see my family because I miss them so much. And I just want to give them peace of mind that obviously if it's positive, then that gives nobody any peace of mind. But the point was to get tested and then hopefully see them, because there are people in my family who are unfortunately high risk. But I'm not seeing them. I'm seeing my mum and my dad hopefully over the weekend and for a walk. So yeah, basically, have you guys gotten the COVID swab yet?
No, I
Like,
haven't. Yeah, what you told us was horrifying.
I'll explain. Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically,
I'm just gonna turn the lights off here while you talk me through it. So go ahead.
So basically, I went to like 24-hour doc, which gives you a result in like 24 hours, but they give you this like swab the length of a toothbrush. Okay. And
Yep.
they shove it in so far, and like they didn't even buy me dinner, you know, like they're like shove it in so far, and they spin it, they like twist it in your nose, and like, so it's the length of a toothbrush. I used to not believe when I heard stories that a girl swallowed a toothbrush, but now I'm a fucking believer. Like, Jesus, I didn't realize something could go far back in there. And I was like, do you know what?
Right.
Actually, maybe those girls did swallow a toothbrush, because this went like way down. But it was like, yeah, just high-fived my brain, and then it came back out again. And thankfully, I got a negative test, so it was all. I get this weekend. But it's honestly nothing to be scared about. If anybody needs to get a test, it's nothing to be scared about at all.
Okay, it sounds exactly like something to be scared about. Okay, you said it was like swallowing a toothbrush
up your nose. Honestly, like, but when I was there, so the woman who was like getting the test, I told her like, oh, there's nothing to worry about. This is obviously a precaution, and she probably has told that like 9 times a day, and she was like, and so she. At the very end, I said to her, like, thank you so much for everything you're doing. You're obviously a frontline worker and you're here. Like, and some people are coming in and they're positive. So, like, I just want to say thank you so much. And she was kind of standing there going, just get the fuck out.
There's another person coming in.
Yeah. I shouldn't, like, regardless if you're positive or negative, I can't be in your company for long. Just get the fuck out.
That's the nice thing about the pandemic. It could really help you connect with new people, doesn't it?
I got that reaction from people before the pandemic. They just get away from me. I've been in your presence too long.
Get out! You're putting us at risk, and like, but yeah, it was honestly, I felt relieved. I felt, at ease, and yeah, unfortunately, the price of it is a pain in the hole. It's 125 for a test.
That's a different test, though. That's a different test. The pain in the hole
for the COVID test. Just want to say the swab went up my nose and in my mouth. It didn't go anywhere else. Okay,
we didn't
so
up to that point, so we're going to edit that bit out. But no, everybody should get the test. Yeah, I need to get the test as well for work.
No,
so
everyone should get the vaccine. Fuck the test.
The vaccine, yes. I've been drinking. What is it? I've been drinking bleach and sticking light bulbs up my arse. Isn't that what your man said? Yeah. Bit crunchy, but look, we're nearly there now.
Speaking of drinking, what are we going to share our drink brews?
Well, before we head into the drinks, a good segue. What has Neil O'Dwyer been drinking over New Year? Well, again, here he is protesting. It wasn't him who ran that over. And we should probably say Neil O'Dwyer has never. I would be surprised if he's even murdered like one kid. Like I.
You're right, kid.
No, Ben. Yeah, two. Definitely not murdered two.
Like definitely.
Anyway, our friend, the very innocent Neil O'Dwyer, said, "I sat and watched Jules Hootenanny whilst drinking copious amounts of lager, like a champ, like a fucking champ." So yes.
Oh my god, I wasn't ready for that, Ben. That's the first one of the season. A little bit of something came out of my nose. Sorry. Wow.
Oh, did you get the COVID test too?
Yeah. Wow. That's the only reason I'm here, to laugh until fluids come out. But enough of that. Yeah, no, vaccinate yourselves, people. Don't put anything in you that you don't want to.
No, don't vaccinate yourselves, people. Wait until a professional does it for you.
Sorry, yeah.
Get vaccinated. Get vaccines. Anyways, what are we drinking?
Professional. Oh, then let's get back on topic. So I'm starting with an old favorite, mostly due to nerves, because I was actually nervous tonight because we had gotten into a role where I'd gotten used to seeing my tits on screen, and you guys as well. Hey, that's the first joke of the night. And but I was actually nervous, so I went back to the quad gin and splash a tonic to start the night off. So that's me. This is getting rid of the nerves. Cheers, guys, to your health.
Cheers.
And to you as well. I'm having a wee dram of whiskey. I like singing the bells of New Year with a little glass of whiskey. But since I'm in Ireland, it's an Irish whiskey. Little wee drama Jameson's there. Here's to ya and al whala oya. I don't know what I just made that up. I was supposed to be like a pretend Scottish thing. It sounded like a Spanish guy having a stroke. But the sentiment is there. Happy New Year. But not for me. Mine's just not until February.
It did sound like a Spanish man climaxing. It really did.
My research doesn't go to Spanish men, so I'll have to take your word for that.
Yes.
Hello.
So this is not water, and so this is gin and tonic, not water. And I actually brought in the bottle so that you guys would believe me. Because I was just like, they're not gonna let me away with this. So, but gin and tonic is almost like water to me. So.
I feel like we've created a bad atmosphere where people can't just tag out for a night, that they feel like they have to drink, or some sort of punishment is going to befall them, or so.
So I think as the first one back, it would be great to have a drink with my tits and my friends, and then maybe next week, maybe not. I think I've had non-alcohol. I think I'm the only one who've had non-alcoholic beverages on this show.
Oh, wait! What is this? An intervention? What?
Well, this is probably the time to say it. So it's going to be weird if you don't have a drink, because our next show is the Party Tits Hen Party. We're throwing a hen party for Ailish, but if you're not drinking, we'll pretend it's like your pregnant hen party. That like you're getting married because you have to. Like that. That's the hen party.
Shotgun wedding. Also to say, there is no man in my life, and there is no babies, and there's not like I'm not actually getting married, but I just like the idea of having a hen.
Yeah, I can't speak for Ben, but I've never been to a hen party or stripped at a hen party, and we're gonna do both of those things next week. Don't let that put you off.
Oh my God. Nudity.
I'll be wearing a Brad Pitt mask or a Daniel O'Donnell mask. So
I'm going to be one of those butlers in the buff, but instead of being all dressed and it's just the ass is hanging out. It's just going to be my ass is covered and everything else is in the raw. That's
wow. It's like an Andy Warhol painting. We just don't really know what's going on, but we're just happy to be looking at it. So, whoa. Well, listen, lads, I can't wait for next week already. But let's get into this week. I think now, because it's New Year's, there's only one way to bring in the new year, and that is with the jockstrap of crack. I should have invested in a hat, but because there's no training, this is the outing for my jockstrap. It's an ironic medium, if you're wondering, and I'm going to pick out a question here from the crack hat, and then let me just see here. This is for the room and for everybody. Oh, there's two in here. Oh, this is good.
Dancing while he's like loading.
Sorry. I'm like an old computer.
Should we do character screens? When the characters move around.
Yeah. Well, does anyone remember the Commodore? You're too young, you guys, but the Commodore 64 that used to run on cassette tapes. And you'd have to put the tape in 2 weeks before you wanted to play the game. It took that long to load up. Anyway, that's another podcast.
Oh yeah, I think I read about that. Anthony Eden was prime minister, and there was still the Soviet Union, and
the wheel was 2 weeks old.
Which one, a wheel or a car's wheel?
It started off as a square wheel, and so what is your ideal night out after this? Because I have an interesting answer, but what do you guys, when we get vaccinated and happy and we can lick each other again, what do you want to do when you go out?
Okay, so I didn't know we were going to be licking anybody. I think I personally believe that I've actually gotten better at throwing parties, because there was that moment during the Christmas when when the restrictions like relaxed a little bit, and I was trying to throw a party for my housemate, and we had like balloons everywhere, we had like confetti everywhere, we had like happy birthday and like pinned it all up, and I was just like, wow, I never put in this much effort before for parties. And then the fucking cheese board came out of nowhere, and I was just like, I know, I was shocked too. So I guess like the ideal party would be a hen party.
Oh,
I
well,
love a
that's
hen party.
good. We happen to be having one next week.
What about you,
Someone-
Kigo?
Well, look, see, the thing about lockdown is you're either going to go one way or the other. You're either going to enjoy the solitary confinement, or you're going to want to go out again. And so I actually have developed a massive dislike for people. So what my ultimate night out is just being able to go out my door, but then straight back into my house and put on probably The Office or something, and turn my phone off, turn the lights off, take my trousers off, and just enjoy it for the whole night. I don't want to leave my house anymore, and I think maybe that's an issue, a mental health issue during lockdown. But my only trip now is to go to Tesco or to go for a run, and I don't want to go to a boozer anymore. I can't imagine going to a club anymore, because the moves I have stored up over lockdown, if I bring that to the public domain, they'll shut down coppers for obscenity. So I can't bring this booty out to a dance floor after all this pent up dancing energy that I've built up over lockdown. So I think it's safer for the world if I stay in.
I love that. It's like if lockdown were to end, Kigo goes, yay, let's go back inside. Go back in. No, I'm definitely going to throw a house party because I love hosting. I'll definitely throw like a house party, like with the balcony and fucking, we have like a bar in our apartment as well. Of course we do.
Go on.
And go on. So yeah, that's definitely happening. What about you, Ben?
I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point. If we are able to all start socializing again, as Kigo says, is the world ready for the energy that we're going to throw out into it? I mean, that's. And I was thinking, like, I'm absolutely gasping to go back to a pub that you don't have to have like a round of pie and chips every time you want a pint of lager, just to have drinks in. But if you go to these pubs, everybody's going to be doing exactly the same. So will it be the most enjoyable version of that thing? And what I'm most looking forward to is just being able to go back into a pub, I don't know, of a Wednesday night and meet like 1-2 pals and just have, you know, it doesn't have to be a mental session. It just has to be like a nice cozy pub where you're just having a couple of beers or a whiskey or something with a friend. I don't know why. I'm going to give them a shout out. I have no affiliation to them. This is nothing. This is not advertising in any way. But the pub that I keep thinking about is a pub in Edinburgh, just off the high street, called the Jolly Judge. Me and my friend Mark would go there whenever we were both in Edinburgh at the same time, and it's just the pub that everyone has in their head when they think about a pub.
But that is a judge you want. You want a jolly judge if you're in court. You don't want
you don't want a miserable barrister. So yeah, that's listen, I don't know. I don't know. You are right. Both of you had answers, which is when things open back up again, it's maybe right to feel slightly timid about immediately going back out again, because
tell me about it.
Yeah, well, don't have to tell anybody about it, mate. Ailish has made a little sketch. We're going to play just now.
Absolute professional, Ben.
To show you the mental. So here we are. Okay, are you ready? Do you want to give that a little introduction, Ailish?
I guess if you were to meet your future self, that's one of the questions. Like, would you like to meet your past self or your future self? I would love to meet my future self just to know, like, spoilers, to know what happened. The pandemic had its first case in February 2020 in Ireland. So it's nearly here a year. So I picked like a period of January of when I was going to talk to myself. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Hey guys, so it is January 2020 and I wanted to ask you guys, what does the year have in store for me? Hi, I'm lockdown number 1. I'm being super positive about the whole thing. So I basically have been baking. Like, there's going to be a home ec exam at the end of this, right? And I've been keeping super active, staying in touch with everybody, trying to keep the heart rate up, trying to be super motivational so that when this is all over, I can just rock my summer body. Summer bodies were made in winter. Am I right? So what's a lockdown? Yeah, so that 30th hen wedding, 40th and your graduation. I wouldn't put a deposit down for any of that or pay any money towards that because you're going to get your money back, basically. And you're not going to be in a better case scenario because you're going to spend all that money on shite. Okay. Right, on lockdown number 2. There's a second lockdown. Yes, and you also discovered day drinking. And you didn't keep to any of those resolutions that you made in the first wave. And your hair, man, got so fucking long. And you're kind of just in your house, just waiting for all this to pass and people are getting fed up. Okay, I just have one last question. What is that thing on the floor? I think that's number 3. Guys, I'm going to be honest, this sounds absolutely terrible. Did number 3 shave her head?
I say it's not all about fancy title sequences now. We're also doing little bits that go into the show. This is series 2 of the Party Tits, and we're doing things slightly different.
I love that I haven't changed my clothes since yesterday.
So, if I
that this is
may,
my favorite one thing. Yeah.
So that bit at the end where you're looking at lockdown 3 and it's you lying on the floor. It took me ages to work out what I was looking at because your trousers were kind of the same leopardy pattern as the chair, and I thought, oh, she's just got a rug to match the chair, and I went, that rug kind of looks like an ass. Oh, she's lying down. That's what.
Say what you say. It's like catchphrase, But Halo, obviously, that was beyond brilliant. And if you look at the comments, there are people saying sound advice. I recognize whatever. And we've got our old friend Rebecca. Yeah, she's Captain Cappuccini. She's contemplating the head shave this round. So we will actually stream that live from the hen party next weekend. Or next week. So prepare the Blade Zero. Captain Cappuccini, you are up. We will live stream your head shave.
Okay, let's do that. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, what does season 2 hold? We don't know.
we shave humans.
This is the problem with content: is that the slightest idea that you have has to be carried on through because of lockdown. That's where we are. Oh, she's saying she's a qualified barber as well. Okay, can we make that happen?
Yeah, can you cut our hair? Please.
Nobody's cutting my hair. That's not happening. And
Mother Nature cut mine at the age of 5. So it's there's no barber can save me here. But no, a qualified barber. Look, it's kind of like those ideas. I can jump off that wall. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Go on then. Oh, I have to do it now. So no pressure, but we've told everyone you're going to shave yourself live on air next week at 8.
Okay, I mean, let's not say yourself because that means wow.
And more body parts. Oh, good night.
Well, look, you can't do that shaving at 8 o'clock. Yeah. That would be hilarious. You just start pulling up shrubbery, you know what I mean? It's like,
hey, we live on the internet. We don't have to, like RTE does, apologize for doing a sketch that the church is happy with. Where the fuck are we?
Oh, I love that. Like them and the bishop were battling it out on Twitter. I fucking love that. Let's stop the game.
Listen, I don't think Rebecca is indeed cutting anything, which is absolutely fine. I am.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fine head of hair she's got, so I wouldn't want to take that away. Yeah.
So I reckon that's the way to go. I reckon we're going to do a few little filmed stuff that we'll place into the shows as we go along.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do things slightly different. We're not going to give anything away, but we've got some treats in store for the next couple of shows. And I think we should probably upfront say, I think we're only going to do 3 at the moment, maybe take a little break, see if life begins to open back up again. Because if it does, you don't need us anymore. We don't need us anymore. You don't need us.
But you need us for live shows.
Yes.
Yeah, we might start doing it in an actual theatre where you can come and watch us and might catch COVID. So why not?
Yeah,
That's
put the asterisks in there, Ben. You don't need us anymore. Asterisks. But when we do a live show, you will need us again.
You will need us again.
We're like David Hasselhoff running slowly with that weird red thing that he saves people's lives with. But you're very capable of swimming, and there are no big waves. But I'm going to run towards you anyway.
That's one thing that when lockdown happened, we were chatting and I was like, guys, I think we still have a job. Like, I still think we have.
Oh yeah, because let's face it, it is we'll do 3, we'll have a break, but it is unlikely things will go back to any semblance of normality. So we'll be back for a 3rd series after that as well.
Yeah.
But talking about series 2, one of the guests is that we've got coming up. It's
Get him in there.
Jack McKenna.
Yes.
It will be our guest on episode 3. And what Rebecca said, Neil O'Dwyer, he's enjoying the notoriety down his way of being a suspected murderer. He's like that guy from the West Cork podcast who gets maybe killed somebody and then gets drinks bought for him because he's kind of a weird celebrity. It's
basically like a sex tape just with murder. So it's the same thing, It's you're famous, Neil. You're famous.
He said that in such a funny way, and thinking about it, that is horrifying.
I find if you say dark things with a humorous tone, people don't understand. It's like a Bon Jovi song.
Yeah, totally. But how was I said my New Year's was a COVID test, which thankfully was negative. Hooray! So, how was your guys' New Year's?
Well, I think has anyone, because it's such a weird year that Ben doesn't want to see, and none of us want to see, just in case it's shit. Has anyone made New Year's resolutions? And are they realistic? I think that's the key. Because every year we say, I'm going to give up chocolate. I'm going to go for a run. And then by January the 4th, we've stopped. So, has anyone made any realistic resolutions this year?
No.
All right.
Someone told me just survive. How grim is that? That's your New Year's resolution, to just survive.
Who
bars drop?
Who told you that? It sounds like
one of my friends.
An old lady on the bus just dragged off.
That's like the beginning of a. That sounds like the beginning of a Saw film. Saw 7, just survive 2021.
But New Year's resolutions, you've given up enough already. Why do you need to give up any more? Unless a New Year's resolution is to host a party on Facebook Live and YouTube Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Boom.
Professional. Bing.
I've not made any resolutions. And I never really do, because I never think it works. I never think just the idea of just going cold turkey on something, going from a month of excess and jollity and happiness and socializing and all that kind of the booze and chocolate and meat and gravy porn, and then suddenly going, and now nothing. It's never going to work. The only time I ever broke the no resolution rule was last year. And I said I was going to get fit. I was going to get fit. I was going to get healthy. This was the year I was going to make a difference in my life. And for the first couple of months, I succeeded. I stuck to it. I ate healthy. I exercised, and I lost 2 stone. And then a pandemic came along, and now I'm on first name terms with the guy who runs the chippy down the road. Okay, that's where we are. It's so spectacularly just put all of that back on. It was just this has been a waste of my time and probably not helped my body in any way to lose that weight. Back on
hopefully my next creepy statement will make you feel better, Ben. But when I met you and you were wearing your mask, I had sex with you with my eyes, so you still are fit. So don't worry about that.
Oh, thanks very much. And it was when I was working at that record store, and you came in to buy a record, so I was wearing a company fleece and
buy a record. Yeah, you make it sound so filthy. I love it.
I think it sounds so formal.
but that actually leads me into what my resolutions are this year, and I've decided to make more realistic ones. Okay, so I've decided to drink more, as you can tell. I've decided to eat more, as if I stand up, you can tell, and I've decided to shout more. Now, I was always a shouty person, but I've found myself shouting at people more, but it's only in specific venues. Like, I used to be tolerant of people in Tesco. You know, people walking around going, you know, maybe I'll get the organic cucumber or the Tesco cucumber. And that was lockdown, as Alo pointed out in the video, that was lockdown 1, where everyone was nice to each other. And now we're in lockdown, what is this, 3? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Patience is gone. If you invade my personal space and I don't want you to, I will shout at you. If you're just wandering around Tesco, just going, maybe I'll get organic vegan turkey bacon, I will slap you. So I've decided to be more a slappy drunk, basically, is what I'm going to be for the year.
What you're saying is this is the Brexit lockdown, is what you're saying. That's exactly what I think.
So I've decided to be more realistic. And I'm also going to do yoga just for the crack. So I'm going to, one of these shows, I'm going to wear yoga trousers, and we're going to see if they actually make everyone sexier or if it's just certain people. I have a theory that it's only certain people. When you see me in yoga pants, you'll find that out. It's a bit like a dumpster fire, but that's going to be probably series 14 based on lockdown.
I mean, if there was ever an excuse for Party Tits to start up an Instagram account, I mean, the first photo that's what we're going to do. It's Kigo in yoga pants. Maybe put it in a story. People can vote sexy or burn my eyes out. Actually, talking of burning things, and I think Ailish will find this good. Is Rebecca, I found writing a list of all I'm grateful for last year and all I wanted to get rid of this year, and burning it weirdly positive. A lot of fires, a lot of women in fires. Is the thing.
A lot of fires.
I thought Pyromania was a Def Leppard album from the 80s, but it apparently is a way of life for a lot of women. So, yeah, I might try that myself.
I'm just going to stop everyone there and go, that was a belter of a line. I
was really hoping to get a better response to that, but everyone kept it internal. And
there's not a lot of big laughs happening, but everyone's going to be thinking about that line tomorrow.
I tell you, look, a good line makes people adrenalize. What can I say?
God bless us all. God bless us all.
How niche can we get?
Should we get the old crack jock?
Let's do it.
Great.
I love how you
Oh, it's.
I've been the Eucharist. You just bring it in like the Eucharist.
I've been doing press ups all day to try and lift this thing. Let's see now.
Raise it up and then. With him in
Sorry.
Him.
It's 2021.
Oh, we've done New Year's resolutions just by proxy, so let's get rid of that one. Cheeky one here. So it's an interesting one that I pulled out of my jockstrap. Will you miss anything about 2020?
Ooh.
If the answer is no, I need you to expound on that, like the Leaving Cert.
as well as yes. If the answer, do you know what? Yes. I now have to say fuck off. While Ben is thinking, I'm really going to miss, like, I feel that when life goes back to normal, I'm not going to have time to go for picnics or have time to go for a dip in the sea on Saturdays, because these are things that you kind of you went back and you played, like I got bloody Pokemon Red, or I played loads of video games in lockdown because there's nothing else to do. But I think that these things will fall away once we're back to normal and we're back seeing our friends and hopefully back doing gigs. But that's one of the things I'm definitely going to miss about 2020, because everybody kind of embraced their childhood and embraced that and embraced kind of like board games and stuff like that. Yes, Keego. Yes.
No, Elo, I'm just saying you've hit the nail on the head, and I have the example here to show you. You guys are not going to remember this. You're too young, but to anyone in my age bracket, I bought this during lockdown. I bought a Sega Mega Drive. Okay, now this is to bring you back decades. This is when you only had landline phones, 3 TV channels. Everything was in black and white. You only got erections every second Wednesday. The Sega Mega Drive was the console. There was the Super Nintendo, which was for commoners, and the Sega Mega Drive. Okay. And the Sega Mega Drive was twice the price. And I always wanted one. And do you know where I found it? I found it.
I think Rebecca wants to know, where did you find it?
Okay. I found it in the greatest place on earth, and that is the middle 2 aisles of Lidl. That is where I bought this for €30. And it's got 40 games already. So you're absolutely right. We are rediscovering what is important and fun to ourselves.
Wait a minute. You can't just drop that information and then we walk on.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, firstly, and I definitely know that Rebecca wants to know, what Lidl, mate? Where? What neighborhood Lidl is this? What?
Sorry, it's Lidl.
In Bray?
Lidl in Bray, and they wouldn't let you in. It's very high. They wouldn't let any of you in based on your niceties. But no, you can get them in all Lidls, I would assume. But it comes loaded with all of the games. So I think what we need to remember from this lockdown is the things that are expensive now. Oh wow, this is going to sound like an Elton John song. The things that are expensive now will not be expensive down the road. I bought that for 30 quid with 40 games on it. I would have had to ask my parents to remortgage the gaff back in the 90s to afford the games I have here. But yeah, I'm rediscovering my childhood. Thundercats, He-Man, Turtles, She-Ra, I'm feeling a bit sexy. Spider-Woman, same thing. And the original Batman series. So yeah, that's what I've been discovering during 2020. I know no one asked.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, that is a good point. The things that are expensive now, down the line, will not be.
That's heavy.
I think I'm just going to wait until everybody's vaccinated, then get the COVID test. It'll come down in price. It won't be 125 euros.
They're probably going to look at you going, why are you here?
Yeah, can I get one of your COVID tests for a tenner? Sir, we've waited that a couple of years ago. I know. So
I would go out. I'm waiting on the text. You've been vaccinated 14 times, Ben.
I know, but I just want to see what it's like. Ailish is still going on about it years later.
That looks worse than Ben. That looks like I have mad for blowjobs.
Yeah. What I was trying to do was like cotton bud up the nose, like that. I should have done that rather than.
Could you do it again, just slower, Ben? Could you do it just?
Maybe that's why. It's so guy, but. Well, okay.
I
want the internet forever, so I better get used to that.
Can I ask you guys a question? Have you guys done the vaccine predictor test yet?
No, I can't.
So it tells you it tells you when you're going to get vaccinated.
Have you done it? Have you done it?
Yeah, and I won't get my 2 jabs until February 2022.
Wow.
Apparently. And now I know things will change, and this is a comedy show. We won't get into it, but you put in your date of birth, and if you have any, are you a frontline worker? Do you work in a shop? Are you a stripper? Do you have sex for money? All these things you've got to fill in. and
the four,
All the above.
main jobs of people.
That is the trade of Ireland, isn't it?
yeah, who are the essential workers?
Oh wow. What website can you get this on?
I mean, Keego's frozen now, so it did. I mean,
Is he messing with us now?
no, he's not. That. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yep, there he is.
I just, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear everyone. Sorry, I just on one screen I'm just standing like this, and on the other screen I'm moving, so I don't know which one you guys see.
Oh, look at you with your multi-screen director's gallery that you've got.
2 eyes, 2 stimulants. Let's go, baby.
Season 2, babe. Season 2.
That's it. I fear I said too little. So I tell you what, let's do one more crack jockstrap, and then we can figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the show, because there's only 2 questions left. I'm sure they're all very highbrow. So let's just try one more. Jeez, this one is 2 pages long. Hang on.
2 pages. This is a thesis coming out of the jockstrap.
So where will you go on holiday? Yeah. Where will you go on holiday when we all get out of lockdown / vaccinated?
I actually know where I would go, but I went first all the last 2 times. So Ben, if you know.
If I know, what will I do? The temptation is to be like, get on a plane and fly away. I think somewhere in the Bahamas or the Seychelles or something like that. I think I would like to start baby steps, and I'd like to just go like the other side of the country or back to Scotland for a bit, and just go back and visit something that's familiar, but it's and comforting and to some degree, and like some sort of semblance of life and partying and holidays, but still within a psychologically manageable familiar step. So I don't know. Definitely go back to Scotland, see the family, but I don't know. In that brief kind of opening up that we had in the summertime, my girlfriend and I went to Galway. Maybe go back there again. I had a wonderful time. They've got a street which is just pubs, and you can sit outside and drink and enjoy the pubs. I'd do that. There's a lot of pubs. There's me and a lot of pub stuff. That's so that's what I would do. I would I don't know, go 6 kilometers away from my home. That would be my
just look back and go, yes, yeah. And then go home. Yeah.
I'm raging that half my 5K radius is water because I live on the pier. Like, it's half of it is water and the other half is land. So I felt like I missed out on that 5K allowance that everybody else got.
Did you? Oh yeah. Well, no, because I'm in the same boat as well. Because I'm a little further down from you, and like a lot of it. And what I determined was that if I live in Killiney, if I were to go up to Dunleary, I can go on to the Dunleary Pier, but not to the end of it, because the end of it, where the lighthouse is, it's out with the 5K. I can get to that bend on the pier where all the seals are, and then look, but I can't go any further than that, or technically I'm breaking the law. So
that's a great way of getting out of going for a long walk. You know what I mean? Herself says, I'd love to go for a walk on the pier, get a Teddy's at the end. It's like, I'd love to, but once we get to the bend, we have to stop legally. So let's just stay at home instead. I think that's
also the great thing is you can get a Teddy's at the start as well. They've got one at the start.
If you wear it, go on. Sorry, Alo.
Oh, I felt that if lockdown is lifted, Ben has this movie Oscar moment where he stands at the actual point of the 5 kilometers and looks at it and makes 1 foot over it and then goes for his ice cream. The climactic moment in the film.
Oh my God, that's brilliant! Yeah.
Take that, society and the man that. Yeah, can I have some raspberry on my? On my
Do you want to play?
Can I get two
play?
flakes? Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Yeah. Can I get
but if you wear a teddy while getting a Teddy's ice cream, it's a bit like Inception, where you don't really know what's going on, and they don't know what to serve you. So, I meant to say to you guys, we have one of Bray's top comedian, Dylan McKenna, has tuned in. There he is. Look at his young face. Look at that little face. That's
the face of the boy that Neil O'Dwyer killed, and that's
exactly that's a face that robs people. Let's be honest. Look at that tiny little face. I'm wearing the same shirt as him from the looks of things, but it's
if anybody's watch, Dylan is a hilarious comedian, and people should go watch him. He's very good.
and Neil O'Dwyer didn't kill anybody. That's another thing you should be very definite about.
You guys are so serious.
Where would you go? Where would you travel to?
I actually have one particular spot. I'm going to get serious with you people for a second. There's one spot that I love in the world. It may sound like I'm taking the piss, but I'm not. It's a place in West Cork called Baltimore, where your phone doesn't work. They still don't use vowels when they talk, and it's the best Guinness I've ever had in my life. And I've been around the world buying Guinness and chips. It's top notch. So I would go to Baltimore in West Cork and drink all of their Guinness and then come home to watch The Office on Netflix or something.
Without your trousers on, which we established earlier is how you like to enjoy The Office. Like, okay.
Obviously, yeah, all the best things are enjoyed with no trousers on. Like, there's no real science to go against that.
Well, I'll remember that when the lockdown finishes and I can pass that 5K threshold. I'll not be wearing trousers because I'm at the end of the pier demanding my Teddy's ice cream. But you said it was fine.
I can't wait till you're on the news, Ben. Man with no trousers demands 99 with 2 flakes with no trousers on. So that's gonna be some 6-1 bulletin. Yeah.
I mean, after lockdown, after COVID, I guess news will become pretty slow. So it'll be the double.
We would get more features.
Yeah, I mean, at some point in 2021, there'll be the double whammy of very little COVID and no Donald Trump. What the fuck will anybody have to talk about?
What are we going to talk about? Yeah, but let nobody does anything. We'll leave it that way. Like, don't make any news.
Everyone just relax for like 6 weeks, okay? Just don't do anything fucking mental. Don't go and eat a bat again and see what happens just for a laugh, okay?
No.
Yeah. We know a man ate a bat. Ebola didn't start from a man eating a monkey. He caught the monkey, and look, you try and have sex with things, bad things happen. Oh, wait. Neil O'Dwyer, what's he got? It'll be Dublin for me, catch up with some great friends and catch one of your live shows. Neil O'Dwyer, we love your thinking. If you make it to Dublin, the first pint is on ALO.
No, I would. I'd buy Neil a pint. He's here.
Yeah, and the second one's on Ben, third one on me. Yeah.
A pint and a cheese board on Ailish.
Cheese board, yeah.
Served by Keego and I with no trousers on.
Oh my god!
Wow, what a tourist board advertisement that would be. You know, do you ever want to come to Ireland? You've heard of rolling green hills and leprechauns, but here's Ben with his arse out, and here's Keego with something hanging out. We don't know what it is yet.
Rolling green hills to rolling pink buttocks.
Yeah. Come to Ireland.
Shall we wrap it up? Shall we talk about what's happening next week?
Absolutely. I've hosted this week, so let's hand over to whoever is going to host next week's hen party.
Yes, I will be hosting my own hen next week. So if you have any friends that their hen was pushed forward this year, it's also the party for you guys as well. And yeah, also comment on the page if you guys want a particular themed party. The reason we're coming up with party ideas is because nobody's doing it. So if you guys have a theme, throw it in. And we're going to be back next Thursday at 8 o'clock.
We sure are. Oh, one last comment. Oh, looking forward to it, Alo. Yes, please.
Aw. Amazing.
He's just flying in at the edge. Oh, compliments. Looking forward to it, Alo. He didn't say he was enjoying himself tonight because I'm hosting.
Excuse me, he said Alo. He said Alo, okay?
He's already trying to get in with next week's host. Oh, Neil O'Dwyer. Oh.
And as you can see, we have a coffee link, or Ben was just about to say that.
No, I was just saying I'm looking forward to being a bridesmaid. Yeah, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, which is absolutely fine with me.
Take the B off that, Ben, and you got me. Yeah.
I'm a ridesmaid, never a ride. Oh, okay. Oh, you Irish people. Oh,
you.
Well, I tell you what, guys, I would love to say that it has been enjoyable to see you two tits for the first time this year. You're both looking even younger than you did last year. And the light in your eyes will keep me going for at least 2 more weeks.
We're seeing each other next week.
That's what I mean. There's 2 more weeks of this series.
Yes. Just let me just kill that lovely moment that you just made. I think.
Well, thanks very much, you fucking idiot. But we're back next week.
One of us can't take compliments. And in the words of Neil O'Dwyer, looking forward to it, Alo.